What's going on, people of the YouTube? This is Matt the StarCraft. I've got a nice little 1v1 for you. Before I get into that, let me just announce who they are. It's fnaticFenix, our blue Terran, and our green Zerg, EGIdrA. I'll get into these two players momentarily. I just want to announce that I do have a new microphone. I'm still fiddling with the volume on it. I've realized that the volume is kind of loud when I've recorded, so I tried to lower the external input manually. Let's see how it turns out. I just wanted to get a cast up there to see how it goes. So let's get into it. These two players, if you don't know who EGIdrA is, he is an amazing Zerg player known for his macro and his bad manners. If I had to say EGIdrA had one glaring weak point, it'd be that he'd leave a game when he had it won. fnaticFenix, not as well known. He is part of Team Fnatic, along with teammate Sen and a few others. fnaticFenix was a Brood War player, known for some really cheesy builds and a really cheesy playstyle. Come StarCraft 2, he played in the beta and was recruited by Fnatic when they did an open rookie draft tournament, so to speak, and he was pulled in from that. He has actually been doing a lot better, did really well in MLG, and for his performance in MLG, got flown out to Korea to perform somewhere, I can't remember where. He did win a couple of first place in some smaller tournaments, like IEM's tournaments, so not that he's anything, he's not bad or anything, he's actually just a little bit less well-known and probably a little less refined than some of the bigger players out there, like OGSMC and whatnot. Now, as far as, oh, hey, I think I just found something on my microphone here that I can... No, that's the volume. Okay, so fnaticFenix, this is actually a public match, so don't expect any extremely cheesy builds in this because they are performing for people to watch. So expect a good game. It looks like EGIdrA is going for the hatch first build, so we'll probably see it followed up by a pool, and there's the pool right there that he's dropping just to get some early Zerglings out in case he decides to do a two racks pressure with bunkers. He'll be getting those things out. It looks like the SCV is going to get a few pot shots on that spawning pool. Any damage is good damage. So getting a good scout right now. He's not really worried about stopping it. He's not going to pull his drones out. He's not seeing anything that's going to ruin EGIdRA's plans. So just not really worrying about that. He did have his Overlord poking in and out of here. So he did see what he had going on. As far as that goes, he has one rack, so just a one racks opening to orbital command, very standard. Didn't go for that quick two racks pressure, so no early bunker pressure, no early bunker harass or early contain. This, by the way, is going to be on MLG Tall Dream Altar, which is why you see some neutral buildings down here, so you can't wall in at the bottom. Nothing fantastic, nothing spectacular. And by the way, as far as my frame rate goes, actually, let me lower the volume here for a second. So I was saying, as far as my frame rate goes, I did do everything in my power to see if I could fix my frame rate. Even when I'm running on lowest settings, like, I can run this game easily at 60 frames per second. The minute Fraps runs, it decides to drop down to the 20 or below area. So if any of you know why that's happening with Fraps, when I run Fraps to record, let me know, because it's really, really, really annoying, the fact that I cannot get a solid frame rate when I record, but when I play, it runs perfectly. My computer's not bad. I have a 9800 GT with the dual-core processor running at about 2.8 gigahertz. I mean, it's not a bad computer, and it can run this fine and run StarCraft fantastically. So, just let me know if you guys know any trips or tricks or tips. Wow, I can't say that. So it looks like we're going to have a spine crawler going down. Smart move by EGIdrA. Just getting those stack defenses up allows him to continue droning up and still having to build any extra Zerglings while he's pushing it. He may get a free SCV kill here, but no, he does not. He is going to have to scoot on out of the way with the Marines, and just going to have to run on home where it's going to be safe. The SCV giving chase, and now he's going to turn around and try to finish off the SCV. Wow, good pick off. One Zergling for an SCV. That SCV is not going to be able to get any repairs on this Hellion that's joining there or build any outside bunkers in case that's due to his planning. That is great maneuver and great micro there by EGIdrA. And now he's going to try to push to the top of the base. Queen getting off creep a little out of her element. Slowly moving around now. Is going to be kind of a free pickings for those Marines if they decide to, but the other Queen came up and saved its ass, and now this Overlord is going to just be a free kill and lowering the supply count severely for EGIdrA. And as you can see in production tab, he was not prepared to lose that, so the other Overlord's a little late. Now he's going to be sacking up some Zerglings here just to finish off these Marines. Looks like they're not going to be doing any damage other than some Zergling kills, and if we take a peek at that workers killed, he has killed 14 of EGIdRA's units, so got a good amount of kills there. But now this Zergling speed, he's gonna has finished upgrading. He is gonna be doing some counter pressure here, scooting on up here. If anything, get a good scout, see what's going on in the base. He will see if he runs up that ramp, which he will, I'm sure. That there is gonna be a tech lab building, so he'll be able to guess some sort of build is going on. Not a very heavy marine build. Sure, marines will be mixed in, but not necessarily anything heavy marine. We do have Cloak going down and some Banshee harass. So while EGIdRA's up here doing his thing and those SCVs are repairing madly, we are going to have a Banshee scoot in here, and it looks like it's going to go in well before the Cloak is ready. So you got to move on out of there, otherwise it's going to get picked off. A little bit of miss micro by Phoenix. Damage that he did not want done, about half its life now gone, that he did not want done to that Banshee because Cloak was not done. So again, a little bit itchy, a little bit of an itchy trigger finger on that Phoenix. We did see another barracks was going down, and now he's going to move on in here and kind of wait on the outside, wait those few extra precious seconds for Cloak, and that is going to barely good timing there. But the fact that he swung in there and gave EGIdRA that heads up, hey, I have Banshees, and he did see the tech lab on that barracks, so he probably knew that there are other tech labs out there. He had plenty of the heads up to get this ready, and now the Overseer is going to be out getting a few drone kills, but it looks like its harassment days are going to be numbered, trying to get another kill before it gets out of there, but still taking damage. And now he's going to swing back here and try to get even more, and there he is. He's building another Overseer instead of pulling in the same one he had. In fact, what is happening right now? Where's his other Overseer? There's one there, one there. I don't know where his Overseer is. And there it is popping out, and he's going to lose that Banshee, but he did get a few workers there, having killed 24 of EGIdRA's workers so far. So actually doing a good harassment there, and actually pretty far ahead, about 5 or 6 workers ahead of EGIdRA. So actually, that was actually quite successful, even though EGIdRA had a heads up on that Banshee, knew it was coming, and it just didn't get the Overseer out in time. But now it's out, and so the harassment from it is going to be nil as far as it's concerned. Not too much going on. It did get a good little scout and does know that the Spire is going down. We have 2 Overseers, so going a little Overseer heavy. What is his plan? Is going to be dropping some Changelings, or maybe we'll see some Contaminations. Ooh, that'd be fun. Little fun play by EGIdRA to do some Contaminates. And scooting on in here, not opposed at all. No Marines waiting for him or anything. And he is going to be contaminating that factory that was building a siege tank. So going to be delaying that siege tank very nicely. And that actually causes him, he's actually supply blocked anyway. So interesting. And now we got a Viking on the field just to pick off any Overseers that poking it out. EGIdRA keeping them just on the outskirts of the base in case he wants to swing back in there and clearing out the gold, getting ready to take that expansion. His third expansion a little bit on the late side. I think those drone kills early on by that Banshee and that harassment by those Banshees, that one Banshee should I say, actually really did do some damage as far as his economy goes, so he's going to be a little bit behind as far as his expansion goes, but by grabbing that gold, and if he's able to secure that gold, he'll be just fine. He'll be able to catch up very quickly. And now Mutalisk is kind of swinging in, doing some harassment, continuing to contaminate that siege tank, not able to get it out at all, and he's losing that Overseer now to those Marines. He looks like he sacked them, kind of flew them right over the Marines. Mutalisk swinging on out. You really don't want to lose too many Mutalisks this early when you don't have that many, since they are kind of expensive and super fragile. And there goes that Viking. That's going to be extremely helpful. Another Overseer coming in here again. Is he going to be able to do it? Yes, it looks like he's going to be able to gack up that factory and really, really preventing Phoenix from getting that actually very, very vital siege tank into this army mix. Being able to siege outside his base and pick off what he needs to would be extremely useful, and really could potentially swing things in Phoenix's favor. But that contamination not allowing that, so really just gonna have to rely on some counter aggression with those Marines. But he's gonna be running into a spine crawler here that's gonna get a few free shots, getting one Marine before it dies off, and now scooching into the natural expansion while he's in the middle of building a Baneling nest. And now a bunch of the Zerglings popping in, the Mutalisk getting in here to do some damage as well. Looks like he'll be able to clean up those Marines quite nicely before they do any real damage. And now those Medivacs are not going to do really anything, getting more drones on gas after he lost so many. So it looks like EGIdRA looking in quite good position right now. He does need to get his gold up and running as he's approaching that 13-minute mark, as he's on even bases with his enemy. And if we take a look here at the unit counting station while he's harassing, EGIdrA is so far behind in drones that he needs to put some massive pressure on him and do really good economic damage, or he needs to get that third up and running and get the macro game going. But as far as he's concerned, as of right now, he is extremely behind in the worker count, and we do have an armory going down for Phoenix here during this attack. So trying to get Thors out to deal with this Mutalisk annoyance. If you're a player that plays anything but Zerg, you know how annoying Mutalisks can be in such large numbers, and it looks like EGIdrA does not plan on stopping anytime soon. 2 more Mutalisks on the way. His hatchery for his gold is going up as we speak, forcing Phoenix to grab a bunch of turrets, and really just continuing to do harassment that's actually so effective, just continually wiping out his army, preventing Phoenix from pushing. And now only 1 siege tank on the way, since he was able to gack up that other siege tank a good amount, and now stopping those turrets from going down. He needs to get them canceled unless he plans on just losing them, and EGIdrA just going to ignore it, actually. Not going to worry about the wasted. There it goes. I don't think the cancel went down. I think he did lose it. Now it looks like Phoenix is actually on the back foot, though we did have the number in workers over EGIdrA. These Mutalisks have proven that they are worthy and well worth the money that EGIdrA invested into them, and allowing them to slowly catch up in the drone count. As if you've been watching the production tab, he's been producing Mutalisks and drones almost exclusively while trying to tech up just a bit, getting that baneling speed to deal with those Marines numbers that are going to be mixed in with that medevac. That siege tank count if you can get it. And more Thors on the way, trying to poke out here and stop these Mutalisks from just doing so much damage. And there, 2 Thors pop out. Is he going to attempt a magic box? He thought about it for a minute, lost 1, lost actually quite a few there as far as Mutalisks go. But still, that was a long time before those Thors got out, and forcing Phoenix to spend a lot of money on defenses and just trying to keep the Mutalisks at bay while they just ran rampant in his base, and all the while just getting drones. Here come the transfer from his main and his natural, and the creep spread is looking really good for EGIdrA. This is not where you want EGIdrA. EGIdrA is a macro player, so if you let EGIdrA sit back and do what he wants, he is going to gladly take more bases, gladly macro up and get that drone count up. The fact that Phoenix put on such early pressure and lowered his worker count will actually bode well for him, and there goes his nuts. Just going to pick up some free siege tanks, so things are not looking good. He's trying to get an expansion up, but as I was saying, now EGIdRA's in a position where he's going to feel comfortable grabbing his 3rd base, going to have enough money to grab his 4th when he wants, just keeping him contained with quick units like the Mutalisks, poking in, taking out a free things, leaving. And it's just looking better and better for EGIdRA. And he can't, and the thing is, he can't move his Thors because his Thors are so slow. He needs to have 1 at each. And if he decides to move his Thors, anywhere else, and take them down from the main and whatnot, it looks like he's going to attempt to engage here and take out this Thor, and it looks like he's going to get a magic boxing. And if you don't know how to magic box, I'll let you know. You send your Mutalisks to attack the Thor, and the minute they get there, you just hit stop, and they all spread out, so the splash damage is completely minimized. So he's been just doing such a good job with those Mutalisks, just poking in and out, just stopping him, and now he's grabbing his 4th base. Baneling's on the way. Things are just not looking good for our friend Phoenix any longer. He is getting combat shield, and I think that's level 1 infantry armor, so really focusing. It looks like he's going to be swinging around, and that's another thing Mutalisks are good for. His map control is phenomenal. He can just know where he is at all times, and it looks like he's going to be attempting to grab this gold now to just trying to even up with him, which is smart, since he could assume, if he doesn't know already, that EGIdRA's on more than 1 base, potentially 3, or I should say potentially 4, definitely 3. And now he's going to be taking out this gold and then moving it over preemptively, getting ready to do that. So smart move by Phoenix. I like that. Trying to keep himself in the game. He's by no means down and out. He's actually looking in an okay position considering the amount of harassment he went through with all these Mutalisks. And the Mutalisk numbers just keep growing. And now he's going to pushing in here. Again, like I was saying, the Thors, if he moves them, it's more or less committing them to a new area, because once the Thors show up, he could just fly out of there with Mutalisks and go somewhere else to do more damage. And it looks like Phoenix himself is actually going to be grabbing a 4th. If you look at the mini-map, he is moving his command center to that top left corner to grab that expansion, so really trying to catch up. But all the supply depot killing is just really supply blocked him, and there were 2 Marines, though I would say scared him off, gave EGIdRA the heads up that more Marines are going to be coming, and you got the conga line of Marines that were here, moving in between the buildings, just grabbing everything. So EGIdRA looking very nice now. Early pressure was good for Phoenix, but it just wasn't enough. EGIdRA did a great job holding it off and reacted well with Bling Mutalisk composition against a Terran. That is just so hard for a Terran to deal with, because with a Terran, you usually have siege tanks and infantry. And the Banelings, Zerglings easily take out that infantry, and the Zerglings and the Mutalisks also take out those siege tanks quite well. And now he's going to be swinging here, picking off a turret, leaving before any massive damage to his Mutalisks are done. And now he's moving to the center of the map, dropping a scan to see exactly what's going on. He's going to see those those Mutalisks flying out. Not going to really see much else. The Zerglings were kind of out of range for that. He might have seen a couple of them, so he probably knows there's a good amount of Zerglings, and if he's smart, he knows there are Banelings on the field as well. And now the Mutalisk is going to really attempt to do and punish him for taking this 4th base. That has only got a couple turrets, and this Mutalisk number is going to be more than enough to shut this expansion down. And this is going to lose quite a few workers to this as well. That Glaive Worm bouncing between all of them, wiping out. And if we take a look at the workers killed, now EGIdrA has surpassed by 25, and that has completely forced Phoenix to move into the middle of the map and attempt to do some sort of harassment pressure. Knowing that EGIdrA has so many Mutalisks on the field, he needs to push out, but this is not looking good with the amount of Zerglings, Mutalisks, and Banelings here. This is going to be quickly cleaned up, and as with Phoenix losing this, I just don't see him winning at all, since EGIdrA basically has control over this entire map, and there goes everything, all the Banelings exploding, all the Zerglings wiping out, and everything else, and the Mutalisks coming in to just put the icing on the cake. So great game at the end. You're looking at 50 workers to about 80. I think this says 80. It could say 60, but I think it says 80. But I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, probably more along the lines of 60. But great play by both of them. What a good public match. I'm glad they played it out, and I'm glad it wasn't just a crate of cheese. So good game. I hope this mic isn't too bad. This game was kind of a test for my new headset. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next cast.